If you can't control your emotions, people will control you. And if you feel like life is moving forward for everyone except you, there's a reason for that, one that most people never stop to examine. You scroll, you compare, you measure your progress against timelines that were never truly yours. And slowly, almost quietly, a feeling settles in, you're behind. Not just a little, far behind. Behind in career, relationships, money, purpose. It doesn't shout. It whispers. And over time, that whisper shapes your decisions, your confidence, and the way others perceive you. But here's what most people never realize. The feeling of being behind is not just emotional. It's psychological conditioning. It's built from invisible standards, social patterns, and habits of thought that distort your perception of time and progress. In this video, you'll understand why that pressure feels so real, why it affects your behavior more than you think, and how it quietly pushes you into choices that reinforce the very feeling you're trying to escape. More importantly, you'll see what actually separates those who seem ahead from those who feel stuck, and why that gap is not what it appears to be. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you won't just see your situation differently. You'll understand how to take control of it. If you can't control your emotions, people will control you. So before you scroll away, stay until the end, because there's a part of this that most people never notice, and it's the part that quietly decides how your life moves forward. You ever have that moment early in the morning, where you didn't even get out of bed yet, but somehow you already feel late? Not late for a meeting, not late for work, late in life. It usually starts small. You check your phone just for a second. Then you see it. Someone celebrating a promotion. Someone announcing an engagement. Someone your age talking about finally buying their first house. And just like that, something tightens in your chest. It's weird, right? Because nothing actually changed in your life in that moment. Your job is the same. Your bank account is the same. Your routine didn't suddenly collapse. But your perception? Completely different. Now everything feels slower, heavier, like you're walking while everyone else is somehow running past you. And the worst part is, nobody told you there was a race to begin with. What's happening there isn't weakness. It's pattern recognition gone wrong. Your brain is built to compare. It's how humans learn to survive. But now, instead of comparing threats, you're comparing timelines. And the problem? You're not seeing people's real lives. You're seeing edited fragments. Highlight reels stitched together in a way that makes it look like everyone is constantly moving forward, non-stop, no setbacks, no confusion. And your brain doesn't pause to question that. It just collects the data, again and again, day after day, until it builds a silent narrative in the background. You should be further by now, not louder than your thoughts, just consistent enough to shape them. That's when things start to shift in ways you don't immediately notice. You begin hesitating on decisions you used to make easily. You start overthinking simple moves. You look at opportunities, and instead of seeing possibility, you see risk. Because deep down, there's this quiet pressure telling you that if you mess up now, you'll fall even further behind. And here's where it gets subtle. You don't just feel behind, you start behaving like someone who is. You delay things you actually want to do. You wait for the right time, even though that time never really shows up. You convince yourself that you need to figure everything out first. But while you're doing that, time keeps moving anyway. There's a strange irony in all of this. The more you try not to fall behind, the more careful you become. And the more careful you become, the less you actually move. It's like standing at the edge of cold water, telling yourself you'll jump in when it feels warm. It never does. So you stay there, thinking you're being smart, when in reality you're just stuck in place. And the people you think are ahead, they're not always faster. They're not always more prepared. Most of the time, they just moved while feeling uncertain, while feeling unready, while feeling like they were already late. But when you're caught in that loop, comparison, hesitation, delay, it's almost invisible. You don't wake up and say, I'm going to hold myself back today. It just happens in small moments. A decision you postpone, a risk you avoid, a step you don't take. And those small moments, they start stacking, quietly, consistently, until one day you look around and think, how did I end up here? What most people never realize is, The feeling of being behind isn't what keeps them stuck. It's what they start doing because of that feeling that really traps them. And once that pattern sets in, it doesn't just slow you down. It reshapes how you see yourself entirely. Stay with me here because this is where things get uncomfortable in a way most people don't expect. When you start feeling behind, your brain doesn't push you to catch up. It tries to protect you from falling further. And at first, that sounds like a good thing, but it's actually where the trap begins. Think about your last few days. Not the big plans, the small moments. You told yourself you were going to start something, maybe going to the gym, applying for a better job, fixing your routine, reaching out to someone. And then something tiny got in the way. You felt a little tired, a little unsure, not ready yet. So you delayed it, just for today. No big deal, right? But then tomorrow comes, and it's the same feeling. Slight hesitation, slight discomfort. And without realizing it, you start building a habit, not of action, but of postponing. It doesn't feel like laziness. That's the dangerous part. Feels like you're being careful, strategic, like you're waiting for the right moment to do things properly. But the right moment has a pattern. It never shows up. There's this quiet shift that happens when you feel behind. You stop playing to grow and start playing not to lose. And those are two completely different mindsets. One moves you forward, even if it's messy. The other keeps you safe, but stuck in the same place. You see it in small, almost invisible ways. You open a video to learn more instead of actually starting. You organize your plans instead of executing them. You think about how things could go wrong before they even begin. And all of this gives you a false sense of progress, like you're doing something, when in reality you're just circling the same point. And here's something that hits harder than most people expect. Studies on behavior patterns show that overthinking decisions doesn't improve outcomes. It increases avoidance. The more time you spend trying to feel certain, the less likely you are to act at all. So that feeling of, I just need to be more prepared, it's not helping you move forward. It's slowing you down without you noticing. Now imagine this over weeks, months, even years. Not dramatic failure, not hitting rock bottom, just nothing changing. Same environment, same patterns, same thoughts repeating in the background. That's how people get stuck. Not because they can't move, but because they slowly stop trying to. And the worst part? From the outside, it doesn't look like anything is wrong. You're functioning, you're thinking, you're planning. But internally, there's this growing tension. Like you know you're capable of more, but something keeps holding you back at the exact moment you're supposed to move. It's like being at a green light with your foot hovering over the gas, waiting for a signal that never comes. Meanwhile, everyone else is already halfway down the road. Not because they had clarity, but because they didn't wait for it. And the longer you stay in that state, the more convincing it becomes. The more your mind tells you that waiting is the smart choice, that you need more time, more certainty, more confidence. But that voice is not guiding you forward. It's keeping you exactly where you are. And once that pattern locks in, something even deeper starts to happen. Something that changes not just what you do, but how you see yourself every time you think about taking action again. Now here's the part that most people resist. Even when they know it's true. You don't get out of that cycle by catching up. You get out by moving while still feeling behind. That's the shift. And yeah, it sounds uncomfortable because it is. Think about it for a second. Every time you've told yourself, I'll start when I feel ready, what actually happened? You waited. You thought about it. You planned it out in your head 100 times. But the action kept getting pushed forward. Not because you're incapable, but because your brain is trying to avoid that awkward phase where you don't feel good at what you're doing yet. Nobody likes that phase. It's messy. It's slow. You feel exposed like you're behind everyone else. But here's the truth most people never sit with long enough. That phase isn't a sign you're late. It's a sign you've finally started. Look at anything in your life that you're decent at now. At some point, you were bad at it. You hesitated. You probably compared yourself to someone better and thought, what's the point? But if you kept going even a little, you eventually got better without noticing the exact moment it happened. That's how progress actually works. Not in big jumps, but in quiet repetitions. The problem is, when you feel behind, you don't trust that process anymore. You want proof up front. You want to know it's going to work before you even begin. But real life doesn't give that kind of guarantee. And the people who move forward, they're not ignoring that uncertainty. They're just not letting it stop them. There's something almost counterintuitive here. Acting while you feel late doesn't make you fall further behind. It's the only thing that breaks the illusion in the first place. Because once you take a step, any step, you shift out of that passive state. You stop observing life and start participating in it again. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It's not about flipping your whole life overnight. It's smaller than that. It's sending the message you've been overthinking. It's applying before you feel fully qualified. It's starting the thing while your mind is still listing reasons not to. Those moments don't feel powerful when they happen. They feel uncertain, almost insignificant, but stacked together, they change how you see yourself. And that's where everything starts to turn. Because once you stop identifying as the person who's behind, your decisions start to look different. You hesitate less. You recover faster from mistakes. You stop treating every move like it has to be perfect. And here's something worth paying attention to. People who seem ahead aren't operating with some secret advantage. They just built tolerance for that uncomfortable phase most people avoid. They got used to moving without clarity, without confidence, without waiting for the perfect moment. Meanwhile, most people stay stuck trying to eliminate that discomfort before they act. And that's exactly why they never leave the starting point. So the real shift isn't about catching up to anyone. It's about breaking that pattern of delay. Because once you do, something subtle but powerful happens. You stop asking, "Am I too late?" and start asking something way more dangerous. What happens if I don't start now? So maybe the real question isn't whether you're behind in life. It's how long you're willing to let that idea control your decisions. Because the moment you stop measuring your life against someone else's timeline, something shifts. You start to see that progress was never about speed, it was about direction. And direction doesn't require perfection, it requires movement. There are people who started later than you and built something meaningful. There are people who had more time than you and still stayed stuck. The difference isn't luck, timing, or talent. It's what they chose to do when they felt uncertain. That moment you've been waiting for, it's not coming. It never does. What exists is this moment. The one you keep overlooking because it doesn't feel ideal. If you feel behind in life, understand this, you're not stuck because you're late, you're stuck because you've been waiting to feel ready. And the longer you wait, the more convincing that feeling becomes. But the second you act, even in a small way, you interrupt that cycle. You take back control. So don't ask yourself if you're on time. Ask yourself if you're moving. Because in the end, the people who change their lives aren't the ones who had everything figured out. They're the ones who decided to move anyway. If something in what you just saw felt a little too accurate or slightly uncomfortable, don't brush that off. That reaction matters more than it seems. In behavioral psychology, those moments usually point to patterns we've been living with for so long. They started to feel normal. The way you make choices, the things you hold back, the roles you keep falling into, they're not random. There's a structure behind all of it. And once you start to notice that structure, even in small ways, your decisions begin to shift without you forcing them. That's why self-awareness isn't just something you think about. It's something you use. The clearer you see your own patterns, the less they run in the background without you realizing. So when this video ends, don't just move on to the next one. Pause for a second. Think about what actually stayed with you. Not what sounded good, but what felt real. Because the truth is, when you notice something real about yourself and actually sit with it, it doesn't fade. It stays and it starts to change how you move. And this is just one layer. The more you start noticing these patterns, the more everything begins to make sense in a way it didn't before. Not all at once, but enough to make you see that there's more going on beneath the surface than most people ever stop to look at. If this made you see yourself a little differently, don't leave it here. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos on psychology, human behavior, and self-awareness. Drop a like if this hit you in a real way. It helps this reach more people who need to hear it. And in the comments, tell me the number you chose. I want to see who actually stayed until the end. Now don't break the momentum. Tap the video on the screen or go straight to the playlist. That's where everything starts to connect, and you'll begin to see patterns you probably never noticed before.